Hi friends, I am Sweta Kaushal and I welcome India-based Ukrainian filmmaker Dar Gai. Welcome to Hindustan Times.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
First things first, tell us what is the job of an intimacy director? What is a KRA?
Great question. I think if I need to compare the intimacy director, it would be like, let's say, diver instructor, right? So imagine, Shweta, you're going for diving experience for the first time. You're of course scared. I mean, you're not scared of water, but you don't know what you will see there with all this equipment underwater. So the idea of intimacy director that first it will explain you the route. First, it will explain you all the tools that you have to have on you to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel confident. Then it will come with you underwater. It will show you the underwater world. It will swim with you, show you the beautiful creatures underwater, and then you will be able to do it by yourself as well or with your partner. So the idea is the way how we look at dance or fight sequence, the same way also we look at intimate scenes. And by intimate scenes, I don't necessarily mean physical scenes. It can be strong emotional scenes, which represent this incredible, I don't know, intimate feeling that we want to recreate on this screen, right? So for that, we're inviting intimacy directors who would be making sure that they're creating safe zone for actors to work, for actors to being able to create chemistry with each other, and at the same time to bring the vision of the director on screen the way how director wants it. So how we prepare our bodies for, let's say, dance, we go through rehearsals after rehearsals, preparing ourselves before the big performance. The same way we will be working with the actors on intimacy scenes. We'll be taking them through the workshops. We will be having discussions with them, understanding what's our final destination is, what our target is, and we will be working with them through it.
You have been into filmmaking for more than a decade, but you've been directing, writing, even acting films. What triggered you to do this?
Oh, it's all fault of Shakun. He decided that I can do this and I should do it. So if I need to blame someone, I'll just blame Shakun. We have been friends for a long time and we discussed so many different projects to collaborate on. And when this project came up, we started discussing the importance of intimacy direction. We shared some of our favorite films with each other, and we tried to break down why the chemistry on this screen feels so real. And then Shakun told me about intimacy direction and some of the techniques that I was using while working on my previous feature film 3.5 or on certain music videos, like for example Cold Mask. I want to bring the same techniques to the actors of his film as well, so that we can try to use different tools which will be maybe closer to them to recreate the chemistry that Shakun wanted. And in a way, it was the experiment. But of course, when he told me about that, I dived into that. I've done a lot of research and I tried to combine my experience as a director, my experience as an actor, my experience as a workshop conductor, and I don't know, I guess my degrees in philosophy. I just decided to put all this together and to design workshop on the basis of that. But the most, I think, important outcome for me was that how to create a safe space where everyone feels loved, taken care of, and inspired to experiment and to try something new.
An important part of your job as an intimacy director is to ensure that the actors are comfortable. So do you want to elaborate on why we need a separate like a different person handling just this, despite the fact that we have actors agreeing to do a film or a show after they've read the scripts? Basically, they have an idea of what they're going to do for the film. So do you want to elaborate how important and why is it necessary?
Absolutely, great question. I think it's a very important question to answer. I would say my example would be taking in from the fight sequences or action sequences. We have action sequences director. When actor reads the action sequences, they know what they're signing themselves for, but we are still calling for action directors. Whether actors will do it themselves or whether they will be calling for stunt artists, still we are having a specialist on board to make sure that physically our actors are safe. Intimacy direction helps us to make actors feel safe physically as well as emotionally, knowing that yes, let's say there is a kiss sequence, but what if I won't be able to feel those emotions towards my partner, towards the actor? What if that day I will be uh, a bit vulnerable, or what if I will have anxiety, or what if I don't know how to approach that scene? I don't know how to recreate the chemistry with my partner. All these questions would be answered by the intimacy director. All these questions will be taken care of by intimacy director. So it just helps to take a lot of headache from the director. Of course, some directors can be also intimacy directors themselves, and they can take workshops with the actors, they can do the same procedures, but I think it just helps director to have another person who are also a trusted person for the actors to be in touch with. It's like sometimes therapy works better with the person whom you don't know at all than with your best friend or with your relative or with your husband, right? So to have that third perspective, alienated kind of person, helps to create a new space in which both parties, and director and actors, feel safe.
Initial inhibitions that you came across while working on Gehraiyaan? What were the inhibitions that the main actors, Ananya, Deepika, Siddhant, Dhairya, what were they dealing with initially?
I think the biggest inhibition was my own. Like I was just not sure whether I'm coming on the set and whether the actors will listen to or will willing to do the workshops that I was conducting, or will willing to understand the idea of intimacy direction. But again, a lot of things comes from Shakun because he was so confident in my role. I think that also kind of influenced the way how everyone in the crew was looking at the importance of intimacy direction. So as soon as I entered the workshop floor for the first time, there was a lot of trust between me and actors, and they were ready to experiment and ready to try something they haven't done before. For example, certain workshops that I've done with Deepika and Siddhant was different from what we've done all together with Ananya and Dhairya. But not even once I felt hesitation from their side or thinking that I don't want to do it. All of them were absolutely equal towards each other, and in terms of their eagerness to explore something new. So I guess that was very inspiring for me. Our main task was to create chemistry, and I know if we'll be able to find those right keys, if we will be able to press the right notes, then everything will be taken care of. No matter how complicated the scene is, no matter how big or small the scene is, it will work because we have found the source of chemistry and we have trained our body and mind to respond in a certain way. So my first several days was just working on the exercises, which will allow, let's say, Deepika and Siddhant to feel safe with each other, to trust each other. And once you trust each other, this is when you can push yourself to experiment in terms of different expressions. So, and once that was figured, I think after my first 3 days of workshop, I told Shikun, I'm like, listen, we shouldn't worry about anything. Like, it just works. They have incredible chemistry. It just works. So then I knew that nothing can stop them, and that happened also because actors trusted the process, trusted the science behind it, trusted their bodies, trusted their minds, and that definitely is very commendable.
In India, filmmaking is also a lot about considering censorship and not just what the CBFC does, but also meeting certain sensibilities. Did you have these apprehensions on your mind when you were beginning to work on the film? Or did you have any discussions about these?
I think we as creators, our task is to create chemistry. And then how will you feel towards that chemistry? That's a choice of the audience. And that's, I guess, what the freedom is. So what I wanted to feel the most is that no matter it's a close-up of forehead touching the forehead or hand on the shoulder, I want audience to feel the same vulnerability when they would see any other much more explicit scene, for example. So we want to create the world in which you feel the emotions. And that was the main task for us.
So, but that is all still about, the craft of filmmaking, and not.
Right.
So, are you telling me that you did not consider, or these were not topics of discussion, or did not cross your mind? Maybe Shakun considered them.
I think for me that was not a question. Yeah, it wasn't something that we were discussing. Our task was just how to make your actors feel safe and how to make everyone feel comfortable in a way that we still achieve the goal of making people feel things while watching the film.
So, how fun was it working with this team?
And I think it was amazing. It was amazing. I supposed to come for 5 days or like 1 week workshop and directing the music videos, and I stayed there for 1.5 months. And so it was like really long experience. But I think just the hospitality of entire actually Dharma team and everyone on the crew, and of course in incredible energy of Shakun, it just allowed us to push ourselves much more, allow us to explore the boundaries that were not explored before. And when everyone is really professional and understand that if some other person is being brought on board, there is reason for that, and there is trust, this is when fun starts. That's why every day, all the workshop which we're doing with like Siddhant and Deepika, it was so much fun and tenderness and vulnerability and just like childish wonder that on the set it helped a lot. One of our jokes was every time when I was coming on the set, Shakun was like, "Oh my God, thank God you came, just tell them to kiss." Because it's like, I don't want them to tell them to kiss. I don't want them to do it. And I really felt for him. It was our inner joke. So whenever there was like any intimate scene, which is, let's say there is a kiss or a hug, they were just shouting, "Dar, where is Dar?" Because then we're doing certain exercises, which was just like making it much more easy and fun. Yeah, it was really